Welcome to what might be the saddest show in the history of anime. This anime's sole mission is to hurt everyone, with twists and turns that will leave you curled up in bed with your ugly crying face. It will make you reach for that tissue box every 5 minutes, so you might as well strap it to your head like a hat. The anime features a godlike figure sending a random orb down to Earth to observe it while it takes on different forms, and absorbing every experience. This orb takes the shape of a rock, and sits there as seasons pass. During its very long hibernation, an injured wolf limps towards it and dies. The rock finally gets some touching action, miraculously transforming into the wolf.
With newfound consciousness, the wolf learns to walk, and its injury also heals within seconds.
It wanders around and miraculously reaches an old shack, where an overenthusiastic boy greets him with overenthusiasm. The wolf, named Joan, was the boy's pet, who ran away 2 months ago. Excited to reunite, the boy brings Joan into the shack. Joan explores, enjoying the warmth of the fire and the enticing aroma of fish. A playful moment occurs as a spark lands on Joan's snout, leading to a chuckle from the boy, who then offers him boiled fish soup that he shoves into Joan's mouth. Joan spits it out. What in the howling moons is that? Of course, wolves can't talk. I just thought I'd liven things up. But anyway, 5 years ago, this kid's family left him in search of the snow-free paradise, lured by fantastic food, vibrant folks, and endless sunshine. But our hero got the boot when mischievous Joan took a nibble, injuring his leg. With that injured leg, he was left to look after the old people, who are now pushing out daisies from the ground. You gotta feel bad for this kid because he draws his uncles, aunties, and cousins on the wall, so he won't forget them. But hey, at least the walls don't argue during Thanksgiving. The next morning, our fearless boy, fueled by his positivity, decides to ditch the Ice Age and hunt for his family in paradise. Joined by Joan, they embark on a road trip filled with campfires, stargazing, and mysterious rock arrows left by his family, pointing him in the right direction. As they inch closer to freedom, disaster strikes when our boy takes an unexpected dip in a frozen river. No worries, Joan, just a chilly mishap. He's fine, nothing to fear. Oh dang, that's unfortunate. He's got a boo-boo on his rear, and those bandages don't seem to help. He needs medicine pronto. But our boy has a will of steel, and nothing will stop him. He braves a blizzard, continuing his family's trail. Sadly, the final rock is in sight,
Leading to broken down wagons and what remained of his family. Reality hits hard.
His forced smile turns into a full-blown meltdown. In truth, he knows Joan can't talk, and has been all alone, talking to himself this whole time, slowly going insane. Hugging Joan, he throws in the towel and barely drags himself home, like a half-cooked noodle. Back at the shack, he's boiling, but still whips up a meal for Joan, dreaming of leaving once he's healed. But his chances are as slim as winning the lottery, and soon he transforms from a half-cooked noodle to overcooked spaghetti, his wound clearly infected. As days drag on with dwindling food, our brave boy with zero strength makes himself presentable for an imaginary family reunion. With a hopeful yet sad heart, he turns to Joan and asks him to remember, and gracefully slumps over, bidding farewell to the world as his body gently falls to the floor. Joan experiences his first look of death and goes in for one last cuddle. I guess he got too close. Well, at least now he'll always remember this enlightened, brave boy. Joan yearns for more life experience and ventures out, facing multiple deaths due to his lack of survival skills. He has the IQ matching an infant. Undeterred, he stumbles into a forest where, out of the blue, a frigging polar bear attacks him, ripping him apart. Now, why is a polar bear in the forest? Nevertheless, we meet March, whose only dream is to grow up and become a mommy. She receives her 6th child, a stuffed toy that her sister-like figure, Perona, makes for her. But the party turns dark when March is chosen as a sacrifice to their god, Oniguma, by a dumb old hag who seriously needs to trim her nostril hair. And the real kicker, March's parents have to fake smiles while the village celebrates this tradition. Ugh. This is Hayase, March's watchdog till the ritual. Lil March can't even poo in private, gosh. Later, as her motherly dreams dwindle away, March bids a tearful goodbye, embarking on her ritual journey to the altar, guarded by hairy men. Suddenly, an arrow from Perona, let's not discuss her bad aim, gives Hayase a head smack. Perona compensates with a headbutt tackle, giving March the perfect cue to make a speedy getaway. But thanks to the slippery path, March ends up landing in a water puddle face first. She's in for a horror when a zombie Joan emerges from the water, decomposed. It scares the crap out of the men who run for their lives. All healed up, curious March is not afraid of him and follows him around while giving him a crash course on manners, which leads to poor March crying since he's got none. After eating their fill in pairs, they both get sleepy, but March has a nightmare that leaves her scared and feeling guilty for running away, since they will have to replace her with another child. Early in the morning, she heads off alone, but finds Mr. Rude Boy follows her. She accepts the fact that he's like a child without a mommy. Perfect. She takes up the role and names him Fushi. Meanwhile, Perona is tied to a tree while two hairy men keep an eye on her, and her attempt to escape is cut short once the village god appears out of nowhere asking where his sacrifice snack is. Perona barely manages to escape, her archery skills proving absolutely useless against the bear. Yeet! Back in the jungle, Hayase finds March and asks her to come along. She gives up resisting and bids a teary goodbye to Fushi, who's still clueless. March is given a jelly subscribe button candy and dozes off, getting tied to the altar. But enter Big Bear and Perona. Perona tries to rescue March but gets tossed. Before Hayase shuts the gate, Fushi sneaks by, becoming a tasty distraction snack for Big Bear. He's half eaten, but no worries, he transforms into the wolf, officially in chomp mode. Everyone is stunned while observing the fight. What is he? It's a victorious win. Fushi finally taking down the bear, he heads over to March and gets a pear as a thank you snack. Thank you for the food. I guess I was wrong, this wolf can talk. Sort of. Hayase randomly has a change of heart and allows March to live on the condition that Perona, March, and Fushi come to her village and live there while she reports back about the ritual being successful. They agree to this new life chance and have a great time traveling together. Too many pairs, I guess. Lady Nosehairs tells us about the dirty politics between the two villages, Yanome and Ninana, in the name of custom. She's a prisoner herself and has been forced to play the old hag fake shaman role. Let's just say Yanome likes to manipulate Ninana and eventually wants to take over their lands. Very rude. Later, they arrive in Yanome and get distracted by the dazzling shops and eateries, totally ignoring the fact that Hayase is acting suspicious. She won't even let poor March write to her parents. Hayase ends the conversation and treats them to a large bowl of laced noodles, and, as expected, the three soon pass out. Why they would trust her, I don't know. Following this, Hayase uses Fushi as a showpiece for the higher-ups and demonstrates his immortality in various cruel ways until finally dropping him into March's enclosure. March is pretty upset at how they've treated him. To top that, Hayase puts March in charge of caring for the polar bear's wounds, even though he did. That's fine though. March has compassion and does her best. Upstairs, Perona brings her escape plan into action and almost dies.
Abundance of possibilities.
But is able to beat up a hairy guard and steal his clothes to reach March and Fushi. They're free, but wait, one last thing before leaving. Perona intends to prove the village god is dead and that their sacrificial ritual is baseless. Just gotta climb up here and grab a piece of this bear to take with, but she changes her mind when March doesn't let her. This bear is her new best friend. Perona, get away. On the road with Lady Nosehair in the driver's seat, they are able to catch their breath. March's dreams of becoming a mother and learning new things will finally come true. Shit, I spoke too soon. While Perona tries her best to fight them off, March fears Hayase will kill her, and then it happens. March heroically uses herself as a human shield to save Perona from getting hit.
No, just no.
Yep, I don't know when, but Fushi acquired the bear's form before leaving the prison, unleashing chaos on Hayase and everything in sight, all while March, in her dying words, wants Perona to become a mommy in her place. It takes her last breath. Oh no. Perona, with little March in her arms, makes her way to Fushi and kindly asks him to stop fighting, for March is dead. Surprisingly, Hayase is still alive through all of this, Perona haunted by past losses, and March's death is left with no family. She contemplates finishing off Hayase, but then loses the will to live. Little Ghost March comes to the rescue, kinda. March's spirit tries to stop Perona from taking her life, but instead, Fushi stops her in March's place, literally making the same face Lil Ghost March was making, and before the Yanomi army can capture them, Fushi switches to Big Bear and carries Perona back to the Ninana village, where after hearing the news of March's passing, March's parents have so many regrets. Take a moment to cry, it's okay, I won't judge. They soon get an update that Yanomi's army is coming their way, and Perona sends Fushi away so he can be safe while they stall them. In one last attempt to help Fushi, Perona sees Hayase and fires the same arrow that killed March. But for the umpteenth time, she misses the headshot and instead strikes her hand. Gosh, this girl can't catch a break. Meanwhile, Fushi continues through the forest, but this time he's not alone, as he has March in his consciousness. And together they venture towards another journey. And that journey will be in the next episode. From tearful goodbyes to unexpected forest polar bears, it's been a blast. If you've enjoyed the ride, hit like and subscribe for more tear-jerking content. And don't forget to comment below with your ugly crying faces. Until next time, here's to everlasting transformations. See y'all.